The year is 2121, and the Earth has become uninhabitable. Every single scientist spent the past 100 years trying to decipher Nirvana High Paladin instead of solving climate change. Simply put, the complexity of Yu-Gi-Oh! Has ended the world. But hope still remains. Two heroes, the great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandsons of MBT and RJ, have made a startling discovery. Right when Yu-Gi-Oh! Was just beginning, before Synchros, before Goats, before Master Rule 1, there existed another rule set. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Junior rules. No tributes, no quick plays, one spell, and one trap per turn. Now, using Tachyon technology, these two must contact their ancestors, convince them to play the Yu-Gi-Oh! Junior rules, and conscript as many of their fellow Yu-Gi-Tubers as possible to start a movement to simplify the game that would eventually end the human race. This is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Junior journey.
The Senate passed kind of a climate bill in the US this week. It wasn't particularly good, but it tells us that we might be moving in the right direction. And looking at the Junior Journey Discord, where folks have been brewing up a potentially extremely diverse meta under the surface, those suspicions might be confirmed. And just like the US Senate needs a nudge from the people by not complying with the system that they uphold that's destroying us all, maybe a nudge from us in the Junior Journey Banlist can create the system that we want to see here and the diverse meta we wish to see in the world. That future could be brought upon as well by some cards in 2011. There are a lot of cool ones, some extremely unfun, some very potentially cool. Let's take a look at them. Starting off with Tour Guide from the Underworld, arguably the mascot of the 2011 TCG. She was very good there and is probably pretty good here. She facilitates some of the monsters you'll see in my deck today, but she also just gets you Wind-Up Zenmates, which destroys cards on the field and stops itself from being destroyed, and that's probably good enough for Junior Journey. It is, however, totally messed up by Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, which is our Blue Eyes analog for this format and is extremely good. Not only does it have the 3,000-2,500 stat line, but it also out-succeeds monsters, which we just don't want to give people the free ability to do in this format, so I don't expect it to get out of this episode. Speaking of cards that I hope doesn't make it out of this episode, Blizzard Princess. If you thought that Jinzo ended games on its own, you ain't seen nothing yet. Blizzard Princess prevents your opponent from activating spells and traps for the entire turn that she's normal summoned. Oh God, somehow this card is less unfun than One Day of Peace, a card that also came out in 2011 and in the TCG facilitated pretty much Exodia and Final Countdown and Empty Jar, and will probably do just about the same thing here in Junior Journey. Now, with most of the unfun nonsense out of the way, we can get into some of the cool cards that exist in this format. Starting with Grapha. This is one I think Joseph's going to be excited about. Grapha is normal summonable in Junior Journey, but more importantly is facilitated by another card that comes out in 2011, the fabled Deianira. This card was unusable in the TCG, but in Junior Journey is pretty good with a 2,800 stat line and has the effect: once per turn, the first opponent's normal spell card effect to resolve, most cards will be normal spells, becomes your opponent discards one card. Can you see how that might help out the Dark World strategy? Moving on, a bungus that I'm actually kind of excited to see, Malefic Cyber End Dragon, one of my favorite cards from 2011, and looks like it could be pretty fun, especially with Gear Town still in the meta and having great synergy with Ancient Gear Gadgetron Dragon, a card that we have left at 1. I think there will be a strategy we see with Malefic Cyber End Dragon, and I think it's going to be pretty good. But Tyon the Time Lord does pretty much what Time Lords do in Master Duel, if you've experienced that. It's pretty good for facilitating your opponent not doing things. Okay, this card is unfun too. Champion's Vigilance is a great support card for the vanilla bungus strategy. It's basically Solemn Judgment without the life point cost. Master Hyperion is in here. It's normal summonable. You're probably not going to special summon it, but it can still banish a fairy to pop a card. Feng Huang is in here and is Walking Harpy's Feather Duster. You can basically guarantee that we're going to be seeing this card, but it's probably less good than Blizzard Princess. Sorcière de Fleur is a big bungus that also gets your opponent's big bunguses for free out of the graveyard. Cephalon the Time Lord is a card that we could see in fairies, but probably won't, but would be very funny if we did. Next, we have the hero monsters. Heroes are actually meta in 2011 because of the release of all of these fusions and because of Parallel World Fusion in part. Parallel World Fusion was unassuming in the TCG, but will be very good here because of the action economy that exists. It doesn't matter that much that you're going to be not special summoning for the rest of the turn. The rest of these are cards that I think that we should look out for that haven't really showed up in the Junior Journey meta so far. Things to look out for include Karakuri, which don't really need multiple spell traps to do their thing. The Nordic gods, who I think might make synchro strategies have a real payoff in this format. And ice barriers. No, I'm not kidding. Let's get into the deck profiles.
Good afternoon, folks. You just sat through what I can only refer to as RJ's specific brand of climate optimism, so I'm here to be a pessimist. Unless we get our act together here on Junior Journey, the world is going to be a desolate, unlivable, rocky hellscape in under 10 years. And given how the past episodes have gone, I think we had better prepare ourselves for that possibility. I'm playing some Rocky Boys of my own in preparation, notably the koa'ki Myru. Now, if you're unfamiliar with these monsters, they were playable in the TCG. Guardian and Sandman alongside Wall have been playable at different times in the archetype's lifespan, but we're playing some cards that never saw the light of day, notably koa'ki Myru Rooklord. This card, at the end of the turn, requires you to reveal a warrior monster in your hand, or else it is sent to the graveyard, and when it is normal summoned, you can remove from play a koa'ki Myru in your graveyard to pop up to 2 cards your opponent controls. This is a Geyserus on normal summon, but better. It's unbelievably powerful, and what monsters just happen to be the warriors necessary to provide this Rooklord with fuel but the elemental heroes? We have access to Stratos and Blade Edge alongside a Miracle Fusion, which can make use of the earth monsters in the koa'ki Myrus in order to make Gaia, or the water monsters in this deck in order to make Elemental Hero Absolute Zero. This is the icing on the cake, because this format includes 7 monsters you absolutely must be playing, or your deck is fundamentally inferior. 3 Blizzard Princess, 3 Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, and 1 Dark Lord Asmodeus. RJ's already given you the rundown, so I don't need to tell you why we're playing these cards, just know that they're there. Now, you'll notice we are on a ton of monsters here, not only the Elemental Hero Stratoses, the Blade Edges, the Rooklords, the Guardians, which negate monster effects, and the Sandmans that negate traps, but also Gaia Plate the Earth Giant. I was finding myself, unfortunately, unable to keep the little koa'ki Myru on my side of the field. This card is a fantastic normal summon, but it's an even better special summon by removing from play 2 rock-type monsters in your graveyard, which is very accessible in a deck like this. Finally, we are on 3 Tour Guide from the Underworld because the rank 3 pool is actually worth playing. After that, we've got the Dark Hole, the Heavy Storm, triple Miracle Fusion, 1 Premature Burial, Bottomless Call, the Haunted Dust Tornado, and triple Solemn Warning. In the side, we've got System Downs, Threatening Roars, Torrential Tributes, Mystical Space Typhoons, and Effect Veilers. And in the extra, we've got Ab-Zero, 1 apiece of each of the other typings, Granosaurus, Leviair the Sea Dragon, Leviathan, Giga Brilliant, triple Zenmanes, and a Steel Swarm Roach we could theoretically make. So with that, let's jump into the games.
The deck I'll be running tonight is Snipe Knight. Snipe Knight is a deck that has been around in the Junior Journey sphere for a little while now, but has never really gotten its chance to shine on the series. I wanted to show it off today with some of the cool interactions that it gets in 2011. I think running 45 cards may be suspect, but there's a little bit of method to the madness here. You're going to be drawing a lot in this deck, and also there's a lot of mill that exists in the format, so 45 cards doesn't make the least sense, plus it gives me an excuse to shove as many cool interactions into this deck as I can get. Let's check out what those are. Starting off, we have triple Night Assailant. This is the reason to run this deck. Night Assailant creates a number of infinite loops and is fairly easy to facilitate with the draw cards and tour guide from the Underworld. Sinister Serpent is like a less good Night Assailant, but is a little bit more reliable in the early game. And then Snipe Hunter is one of the major payoffs here. Snipe Hunter being one of the namesakes of the deck. If you get a Night Assailant in the graveyard and a Night Assailant in hand, Snipe Hunter can infinitely discard to destroy cards on the field guaranteed, which is pretty freaking sick. One of the other payoffs for the Knight Assailant combo is Cold Enchanter. Cold Enchanter discards a card from your hand to add 300 attack to itself effectively, which is not a once per turn. If you get a Knight Assailant to the graveyard and a Knight Assailant in your hand, this card has infinite attack points. I really hope we get to pull that off. Tour Guide from the Underworld gets us out our Knight Assailants, but also gets us Sangan, which can search for other Knight Assailants or can search out pretty much any of the above cards in our deck. And then one Gen X ally, Birdman. Birdman is one of my favorite cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because of its interactions with things like Tour Guide from the Underworld. There are a number of things like Morphing Jar that I can re-add to my hand after I flip it, and Tour Guide, which I can just make recurable. If I summon a Tour Guide off of Tour Guide, I can bounce the newest Tour Guide to my hand to summon Bryonic Dragon of the Ice Barrier with Gen X ally Birdman and have another Tour Guide in rotation. Bryonic is also pretty good with the Knight Assailant combo because it can infinitely bounce. I think that Birdman is potentially extremely strong in this deck. We of course had the Cold Enchanter, then we have Dark Lord Asmodeus. This card is a mandatory include in decks in Junior Journey these days. Listen folks, we should have banned this card when we got the opportunity. It's a 3500, 2500 that replaces itself with the same stats on the field. It's, you gotta run it. Next we have Double Metaion. It can take out opponents' entire boards at once, which is pretty nice for me since I have to use up a lot of my action economy to keep card advantage rather than field presence. Double Morphing Jar helps me out with the card advantage side of things and is extremely good with both Knight Assailant and Sinister Serpent. Feng Wang is good for keeping up on opponents' back row. This is great for clearing stuff to clear the way for Cold Enchanter if we want to try to get that OTK in. Triple Battle Fader is great for this deck because you can just search it off of Sangan and it blocks attacks without being subject to Heavy Storm or being subject to Blizzard Princess, which is crucial. Next, our spell cards. One of the most broken spell cards we have never hit, and I still don't think really merits hitting in this format, is Mirage of Nightmare. This card is incredibly powerful in this deck. It basically lets you keep drawing cards and maybe get to your Knight Assailant combo. This card could be extremely good today and be the reason that we win. I'm excited to start resolving this thing. Triple One Day of Peace. This is an unfun card that's kind of concession to the nature of this deck. 2 card destruction to once again help us capitalize off the Knight Assailants and Sinister Serpents and also get us closer to the combo. Premature Burial is Premature Burial. Dark Hole is Dark Hole. Heavy Storm is Heavy Storm. We've got our discard traps to capitalize on Knight Assailant. 1 Threatening Roar to help us survive battle. Double Torrential Tribute. We don't mind losing our monsters in this deck. 1 Bottomless because we only get 1. 1 Dust Tornado because we only get 1. And 1 Call because we only get 1. The side deck is mostly for the nonsense that exists in this format. Double Burial from the Different Dimension helps us deal with some of the banished decks that exist. Lightning Vortex is potentially good for us if we are on the draw rather than on the play. Swift Scarecrow is another way for us to avoid taking lethal damage, although at a minus that Battle Fader doesn't hit us with. Another Threatening Roar for similar reasons. Instant Fusion lets us go into Thousand Eyes Restrict, which is kind of sick, and Grapha for the Dark World Mirror match. In case you're wondering about the Exchange of Spirit, that's there for the Exodia matchup. This deck looks really fun, and I'm excited to try it out because we are going to be banning so many of these cards today. Let's get into it.
Well, another year, another episode of Junior Journey, and I was honestly pretty surprised to see that climate change had not been solved. It's actually been getting worse around me. We have like pretty regular tornadoes at this point.
It has been hot for like actually 3 weeks, and I'm not even doing a bit. It has been miserable.
Yeah. Is this the fault of our viewers for giving us ridiculous decks to play with? Arguably. Is this the fault of oil executives? You know, also possibly. You'd probably 50-50. I would say an equal share of the blame apiece.
Yeah, we definitely have to consider things from both sides.
Yes. Good people on both sides. Well, there's a lot going on in 2011. We've got some strange additions to the card pool, most notably Xyz monsters.
True, and some interesting other additions, many of which I will be running today.
I bet I'll be running a lot of the same cards, dingus.
All right, buddy. I have the Rock.
Oh, it's back.
The rock is back. I did not get up to get the cool scissors. I have an X-Acto
Whoa!
knife.
Oh my god! He's just gonna pull
We're gonna
that
call
out
that
on me
a
like we're on an
substitute?
airplane. Christ alive! Oh,
Oh, good. If we weren't going to get canceled for the beginning of this, now we're about. All right. Which is it going to be?
let me get the right hand. Ah!
It is the X-Acto. Much as I feel like digging through my deck, I still think the play is to go first.
Yeah,
For
no.
reasons you may come to understand soon.
Oh my god!
Oh,
This
is-
hand's all right.
This hand's a little bit garbo. I don't think I can afford to do the thing that my deck wants me to do with this hand. So I'm actually just going to set a back row and pass the turn.
I'll draw. Stand by main.
Mhm.
Boy, that is really not
Mhm.
what I wanted to draw. A Blizzard Princess, you know?
That's okay.
Get a good look at this how to draw anime looking ass face while you can. Is not making it out of this episode.
No shot, because I cannot activate any spell or trap cards for the rest of the turn. I'll be taking hot 28.
Back to you.
All right, here we go. Draw for turn. That's an all right card. It is part of my deck's engine, but I'm not sure it's what we want right now. In fact, given that I'm not sure that it's what I want right now, I am going to activate card destruction.
Thank the Lord. That's going to really improve my hand. So
Okay.
I will pitch Koa'ki Mairu Sandman,
Oh no.
Koa'ki Mairu Rooklord,
Uh-oh.
Tour Guide, and 2
Uh-huh.
copies of Elemental Heroes Stratos.
Oh god, if you draw a Miracle Fusion,
Oh, it's
I am
coming, baby.
fucked. All right, I am going to discard a Phoenix Wing Wind Blast, a
Oh.
Call of the Haunted, a Battle Fader, and a Snipe Hunter.
Oh, son
I'll
of a
draw
bitch, you're on
1,
Battle Fader.
2, 3, 4, and I will not be losing next turn. It's time for one day of peace.
I was going to tell you, but for the one day of peace, oh, I've got lethal, baby. I've got lethal 6 ways
All
from
right.
Sunday.
Oh, I cannot do that.
Oh, that's your second spell, you dingus!
My well, I might be dead. Okay.
Back into the hair there.
We're just gonna set a monster and pass. What's the worst that could happen?
That's normal Blizzard Princess.
Are you fucking with me? Yeah, that's okay.
It's okay. It's gonna get a lot worse. I'm gonna Miracle Fusion.
Yep.
Deciding which one I want to do here. Wow, I mean, there's
Neither of
just
your
so many good
options
ones.
are the ideal one.
So I can make Ab-Zero by banishing one of the Blizzard Princesses from the field if I think we're not going to end the game this turn, which I think is pretty likely. I can go for Elemental Hero Gaia, or, because both Stratoses are wind, I can go for Great Tornado. Fuck it. No guts, no glory. We will go for lethal here. I'm going to banish Elemental Hero Stratos and Koa'ki Mairu Sandman, and we'll make Elemental Hero Gaia.
Okie dokie.
Combat attack.
Mm-hmm. It is Night Assailant, who I will use to destroy one of your Blizzard Princesses.
Okay, fine. We will get in for 28 here.
I'll take 28.
Second main, I'm
I
going
am
to set 1.
Dangerously low.
And back to you.
I am good. Let's do the one day of peace. Let's give
Okay.
me an extra
Yeah,
turn
yeah.
to live. Okay. We'll draw. Oh, sure. This is a funny card, and it uses a part of the action economy that I don't really have to worry about. Let's normal summon Mattyon the Time Lord.
Oh, right. Yeah, this card came out like years before the rest of the Time Lords for no reason.
It did. And we will go into battle, and I'll just, I don't know, attack into Gaia.
I see what you mean. Yeah, that's fine.
I'll declare its effect and put everything back to the hand except itself. Main phase 2, I will set a mysterious back row and pass the turn. Mm-hmm.
I am going to normal summon Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon.
I am going to lose Mataion next turn one way or another. I'm going to insulate myself against Blizzard Princess here.
All right, back to you.
Okay. We'll draw for turn. Mataion back to the deck. If I draw a particular card before you can OTK me, I do have a, like, doomsday device sitting in my hand. Think I have to set a monster and pass in order to live here.
All right. I will draw for turn.
Mm-hmm.
Stand by me.
Mm-hmm.
Normal Blizzard Princess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use my trap card activation on Call of the Haunted.
Oh.
I'm going to target Gept.
That's a pretty good one.
And then I will Miracle Fusion.
Hey, that's the end of the game. GG. All right. Well, that did not go super hot for me. I did not see my strategy at all. Is going second the way? I think it might be now that I've tried it out.
Well, you know, you can't Blizzard Princess on an empty board. Oh,
True.
my
Oh,
God.
this is a hand. Okay.
All right. Nothing super exciting here. I'm going to set one, and then I'm going to normal summon Elemental Hero Blade Edge.
Fascinating.
Back to
Okay.
you.
All right, let's draw for turn. Main one. Yeah, I like that. Let's normal summon Snipe Hunter.
Oh, shit. I think I actually have to solemn this.
Oh, there he goes. That's a pretty cool interaction. Okay, we're gonna go for it. I will activate Mirage of Nightmare and then set a back row and pass the turn to you. During your actually, during your draw phase, first of all, I am going to activate Phoenix Wing Wind Blast, pitching my Sinister Serpent and stacking your Blade Edge.
Okay.
And then during your standby phase, I will draw 2 off Mirage of Nightmare.
That is a neat little interaction. Okay. I will normal Gept here.
Okay.
We'll get in for this amount.
I will take 3,000.
Mirage is just legal. We just have never hit this card, huh?
We've just never hit it.
What an interesting fact I've learned today. Back to you.
True. Draw for turn. During my standby phase, I am going to add Sinister Serpent to my hand.
All right.
And then during my standby phase, I am going to discard Sinister Serpent and a copy of Night Assailant.
Are you under the impression that Mirage of Nightmare lets
I don't
you
get
pick?
to choose.
It's not that good. Oh my god.
That's okay. That's okay. It's not a big deal. Those cards are going to get discarded no matter what this turn.
Yeah. Let's go this one.
Okay. Well, you did start off with a Night
that
Assailant.
That sucks. And then we'll go this one.
Ooh, that one does suck for me a little bit. That's a Torrential Tribute. All right. Well, having not read my cards once again, I mean, can you blame me? Has this card ever been legal in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh? Let's normal summon little Snipey Boy.
There he is.
And we are going to declare his effect. I will discard Sinister Serpent.
Sure.
To target Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Let's roll for it. There it goes.
To grave he will go.
And then I will set a back row and pass my turn. Not so fast. During your standby phase, I will draw 3 cards off of Mirage of Nightmare.
Yes,
Those are 3 pretty good cards.
Yes, you will. Main one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna normal summon Blizzard Princess.
There she is.
I'm gonna activate Pre-Mat.
That's good. Okay.
Grab Gept.
Mm-hmm.
Get in here. I'll go 15 and then 28.
I will take 15 and then 28.
All right. Back to you.
Well, let's see how this goes. We're going to draw for turn. We'll start off with the standby phase by getting back a serpent. Well, there goes a 1 day of peace.
Okay.
There goes, ooh, that one sucks for me, a lightning vortex.
Jeez. These are free spins.
Wow, you are just incapable of hitting the cards that I want you to hit.
Nice Sinister Serpent, dog.
Indeed. All right. Main phase 1 with that out of the way. Let's make sure I don't die next turn.
Okay, sure.
Woo. Okay. Let's draw. Oh, that's an interesting one. Oh, it doesn't actually do what I think it does. That is too bad. We are going to set... God, I just keep thinking about what's happening to me right now and being deeply discouraged by what I'm finding. God, you had to discard exactly Lightning Vortex there. Oh! You hit the 3 best cards in my... The 4 best... You hit a lot of good cards in my hand. Okay. I kind of think I have to high roll for this. I am going to end the turn. I do go up to 4. Oh, it's okay. It's not a bad one.
Set a card. Could be anything.
Mm-hmm.
And back to you.
All right, draw for turn. Roll away.
This one.
Oh, okay. Well, there he goes. And
All right,
since
well.
it's still by standby phase, I will just grab him back. I think I have had enough fun with Mirage of Nightmare. I'm just going to activate the Heavy Storm I've been sitting on for 5 turns.
All right, I will threatening in response.
That is a-okay with me. Okay. So you've got Blizzard Princess. You've got a monster. I think that means I have to try for this or I just kind of lose. Let's normal summon Tour Guide.
That's fine.
And we're going to declare it.
Yep.
And we will summon ourselves another Tour Guide.
Uh-huh.
We are going to overlay for our old friend, now made new friend, Wind Up Zenmanes.
There he
And
is.
I will pass the turn.
Okay, you do lose this, right?
Oh, yeah. I God,
Should
this
have
deck
a
is
on my
destroying my brain. I tried to do hands with this deck before we got in here, and I am so deeply muddled, I'm just forgetting what I've activated.
Oh my
I
goodness.
do not like you looking at your extra deck right now.
You know what's really funny is that the set card is Blade Edge. And Blade Edge has
Oh,
piercing.
shit! I forgot that I stacked a Blade Edge!
This is a little weird. I'm gonna have to normal a koa'ki Myru Guardian here.
Okay,
We'll go combat. I'll attack here,
okay. This will detach by continuous effect.
and then I will attack here as well.
This will detach once again by continuous effect.
I am going to go to M2. I'll just pass here.
Okay, and then Zenmanes will activate and Guardian will probably also activate.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. There are like 2 cards in my deck that
You are-
potentially win me the game right
you are
here.
also at 200.
Come on. That doesn't win me the game, but it also means I probably won't lose the game, and for reasons you cannot possibly fathom, I'm sure I'll pass turn.
Could be anything. Could literally be anything.
Literally anything.
Try. I mean, we could try it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Who could have seen that coming? All right,
Absolutely
back
nobody. Okay. All right. This is my chance. That's actually pretty okay. I'll activate Dark Hole off the
to you.
top.
Oh
Sure.
no! No, I need these!
And then I'll set a monster and pass the turn.
All right. Stand by me.
Mhm.
I didn't actually need them that much.
Okay.
All right. It's time for Ab-Zero to show up.
He has arrived.
God, I wish one of these assholes had piercing.
True.
Oh, there is a guy that has piercing, but I have no way of making him. Okay. Wah.
It is Night
That's
Assailant.
exactly what
So
I needed
I will-
it to not be.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, back to you.
All right, there is one monster in my deck that actually immediately wins me the game here, and that is not it. That one's kind of cute though. Yeah, let's normal summon Feng Shuang and declare
Oh! Okay, I will bottomless here, but what the fuck?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, living on a prayer, all set and pass.
Heavy.
It's Wing Blast.
You simply will not have it. Rook Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Wah.
You had the heavy and a monster. That was
my
all
God.
that did it. You just were like physically incapable of hitting the extra Night Assailant and Sinister Serpent in my hand off of Mirage.
Wait, did you
that
have
was the worst.
3 Night Assailants
I
this
had
game?
3 and you didn't hit any of them off of Mirage.
Oh my god, that was, I gotta tell you, that was the weakest Mirage I've ever seen in my life.
You know, when you're against like somebody with the actual god hands, it looks pretty bad.
I am just the American sniper. Anyone who has played a danger deck against me can let you know. Do you want to do the game 3?
True. Let's do it, yeah. All right, let's see if this deck can do one of its combos. I'll go second again.
Yeah, dog. Yeah, go for it. Oh man.
That's a pretty good start. Okay.
Guardian here.
Okay.
I'm gonna move to end step and reveal Gaia Plate the Earth Giant.
That's a pretty big dude. Let's draw for turn. Oh. That's not bad. Yeah. Let's try for Tour Guide.
Yes.
Declare effect.
No.
Okay, I had the feeling. 1 day apiece.
Ah, all right. Okay.
Your go.
All right. Stand by main. Jeez Louise. All right. I will normal Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
End phase. Behold, Gaia Plate the Earth Giant.
Stop summoning that dude. Okay, main 1. God, Guardian is really good against my deck.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Like,
not great in general, but if you're not summoning big guys...
Unbelievably good against my deck. Okay, well, we're probably going to have to find this out one way or another, given the hand that I have. If I normal summon Feng Shuang and you don't have any cards to destroy, does it activate as a mandatory effect?
Sadly,
I could not find it.
Sadly, the answer is yes, for Mermello
Okay.
reasons.
All right, well, there it goes. I hope you can't kill me.
Productive turn, everyone. Stand by me.
Mhm.
Oh my god. Wish I could. Just can't find anything worth summoning. Here's a guy that's almost worth summoning. Gept.
Huh! Okay, yeah, that's fine. All right. Lord, I've seen what you've done for others. Let's set a monster and pass the turn.
All right, stand by me. I'm gonna normal summon koa'ki Myru Rook Lord.
Oh,
I'm gonna go for
Well.
the effect here.
okay. Yeah, it's a Night Assailant.
All right, let's see. Let's
That's
see it.
another one of those situations where you just showed me a card and I just decided to ignore it. I lose the game.
Hey!
Okay.
I didn't play
So-
any spells this game. Didn't need them.
I had a really cool hand coming up if I had summoned Mataion instead of setting Night Assailant, knowing there was a possibility you just Rook Lorded me, which is I had Tour Guide plus Gen X Ally Birdman, a thing I can use to get a recyclable Tour Guide and summon Brionic in the same turn. But I just chose to ignore something. This has been a great episode. We've really showed off my skill in particular at this game.
It's frustrating because I do think that this is a format where like combos start to happen. Like You know, we're both on
True.
tour guide. We're special summoning a lot. Even I, who is basically on a Bungus deck, am playing like Gaia Plate in order to go over the top. But you know, there are still some huge 3,000 attack point assholes that are kind of gumming up the format.
That is absolutely true. So the card that I've had sitting in my hand that I have not gotten the opportunity to resolve is Cold Enchanter. Now, Cold Enchanter has an interesting interaction with the Night Assailant loop, which is that there is no restriction on Cold Enchanter, such that if you can keep discarding, you can keep adding attack to it, making it an infinite attack point monster. I just did not draw this and Night Assailant in the same hand.
This is sick. I played Cold Enchanter week 1 of playoffs to out Stardust Dragon because nothing else could. This is the guy. I love Cold Enchanter. I don't know if I'd build the deck around it.
That's fair. Yeah, this deck, so this deck has a couple of cool interactions. It has the Bryonic interaction where you can get infinite bounces off of Night Assailant. It's got the Snipe Hunter interaction whereby you can get infinite destructions off of Snipe Hunter. It's got a number of cool things to it. But it is very evident from every message the community has sent me that people are just tired of this deck.
Wait, the one you're playing?
Yes.
Oh, is it actually quite good?
It's just annoying and ever present. This deck has been usable since the beginning of 2010, and people are just sick of seeing people try to loop Night Assailant.
That is very funny. I think, in the spirit of things, for the benefit of the community, we could limit Night Assailant if you want.
I think it's worth limiting Night Assailant. I think that's a good move.
Maybe Konami was right after all.
After we get more combos than this, Night Assailant may be able to come back. But for now, with the only combo being sending Night Assailant, add infinitum, it's probably not the most fun thing to have in the format.
Yeah. Speaking of not fun things to have in the format, my entire deck.
True.
So someone basically told me I could play heroes alongside koa'ki Myru, and I was like, sign me up, please. I made some changes to the list that were given to me. I'm playing an extremely high monster count because I'm stupid, but also because the koa'kis get much worse if they just die at the end of your turn. I'm on Stratos and Blade Edge, which is like the biggest hero, to facilitate Miracle Fusion, which is one of the ways to cheat the summon limit, and God Almighty is Ab-Zero a house. I'm on the koa'kis anyway because they're just like generally good monsters. Sandman's good. Gaia Plate's good. There are some incidental synergies where you can like go into Gaia, but mostly they're in here for a koa'ki Meru Rooklord. The heroes prevent this guy from dying at the end of the turn because they're warriors, and the koa'ki Myrus enable you to use an effect that is so fucking strong.
It's so good. It is very strong.
It's like Geyserus, but you just have to normal summon him. It's unreal.
True.
I think
I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah. All of this stuff that you've just shown me is very cool. It's also not what won you the game.
Yeah, no, I'm
there
walking
is one
you through
card on your side of the field.
I'm walking you through these neat synergies that, like, no. Like, if you play Future Fusion, you can send, like, a koa'ki Myru and a hero, and then you can banish the koa'ki Myru for Rooklord. It's like, no, the deck is, you know, absolutely propelled into playability by triple Blizzard Princess, triple Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, which is true of pretty much every deck right now. So I think we can probably just ban both of these cards.
I agree, and I'm going to throw another 3,000 feeder that is making the life hell for the last month into the pyre. Let's ban Asmodeus. This card should never have been left at 1.
I just don't get it. I don't understand what people see in Asmodeus, but everyone seems to hate him.
I think it is the fact that you can crash it with any 3,000 beater, and even if your opponent
3K,
you get 2 additional monsters on the field to fuck with. I can certainly see why effectively 3,000 beaters and 1 normal summonable monster is a little bit too good.
Here's a weird, unfortunate casualty. Do you think we have to hit Fang Wong?
I've seen Feng Wong in almost every deck that I've seen. I have also seen it at 1 in almost every single deck that I've seen. It's a little tough because cards like it, Blizzard Princess, Jinzo, are extremely strong for just closing out the game without any kind of counterplay. It's also a dinky dude, which I suppose did not stop your Jinzo from being ridiculous. I think it might be worth banning just for the fact that it makes OTKs unstoppable if it resolves. I have an interesting proposal.
Yeah.
One Day of Peace is one of my least favorite cards in Yu-Gi-Oh's history. This card has literally never once been used in a healthy deck. However, it is very important to some small monster strategies in dealing with the ever-present Bungus meta. And so, in exchange for One Day of Peace, which facilitates extremely unhealthy play, but is good at holding back big Bunguses, I'd like to offer the Unlimiting of Yubel, which is known to hold back exactly big Bungus decks and becomes ever less effective in a control or combo meta.
What the fuck?
May I offer another thing that I think is going to sweeten that deal?
Yeah.
I think we need to limit Sangan anyway. We have Tour Guide. Sangan is the sole reason why Exodia has been a tier 1 deck for like 3 years worth of Junior Journey format. And again, 3 Sangan is not a healthy thing to have in the format. And if we have 1 Sangan, that makes Yubel significantly less consistent.
Yeah, all right, let's do it.
Yes!
Oh, the community is going to be real happy about this one, I'm sure.
I am sure. And one last thing, a card I want to ban that did not come up this episode, Clear Vice Dragon.
Yeah.
We haven't seen it win a game yet, but it is an OTK in and of itself.
One final thing. How do we feel about Warning?
It's an interesting one. It becomes more and more powerful the faster the format becomes, or the more combo reliant the format becomes. But on the other hand, that's a big life point loss when 2,000-3,000 attacks wins you the game.
It just seems like such an unbeatable tempo tool if you like summon an unoutable guy turn 1, solemn their normal summon and they're on some sort of Bungus deck, and then you do it again. But I'm going to propose something that I never do ever, baby. What if we move it to 2?
I am extremely curious to hear your reasoning.
All right, so it's a very powerful card, right? With a lot of strong applications. But I like the card a lot, so I don't want to limit it.
I'm going to give you a slightly better reason. Solemn Warning is extremely good turn 1, but becomes significantly worse the longer the game goes on. So if you open with it, you're golden. But if you don't, it becomes a little bit sketchier. I think I'm down for a semi-limit, even if it's exclusively us just rationalizing the decision.
You know what, actually, the reason that you said, that was actually my reason. I remembered it just now. Yep, that was my reason too, and it was sound the whole time. Yeah, let's semi it.
Legit, yeah, I'm with it.
And with that, I think we've solved another format. I mean, it's really embarrassing just how quickly we can resolve these explosive, powerful formats into something that's healthy for everyone, I'm sure. I guess that's it. Bye.
All right.